community, music lovers, and anyone else who just happened to stumble upon this video. Welcome to Tone and Grooves, and my name is Jeff. I'm your host here at Tone and Grooves. In another Vinyl Finds video, this is going to be a exclusively classical vinyl video, and I'm excited about this. I had some good finds here recently in the last few weeks in the classical genre, so excited to show those, and I'm very thankful for the help that Poetry on Plastic. If you have not checked out his channel, Poetry on Plastic, be sure to check that out. He's got an amazing video that's all on, you know, things to look for in classical records. It's a long video, very in-depth, but lots of good information about all of the various labels, which labels to look for, which labels are considered more you know, audiophile classical labels, all the ins and outs, like what to look for. It's a fantastic video and it's very helpful for me, and after having watched that video, I've been keeping an eye out for classical records, given my new knowledge because of Poetry on Plastic, and trying to put that to use, and finally got a chance to really do that here recently. So have some really, for me, exciting classical vinyl finds to share with you. So without further ado, let's jump into this and give it a whirl. We've got a number of things here. First up is, I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. This is Bach, St. Matthew's Passion on the Das Altwerk label. This is, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce, if you can I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name of the group. It's all in German and it's like big old long string of letters, so I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. But anyway, big box set, St. Matthew's Passion, and it's, I'm not even sure how many discs are in here, to be honest, but lots of cool. You know, that this is part of the fun with classical records, I think, is, you know, there's often so much cool stuff in here. Here's like this looks like a program from a performance of St. Matthew's Passion, from some performance. It's definitely not part of the box set. I'll set that over there. And then of course you've got the, you know, the standard booklet that comes oftentimes in these box sets with the libretto, all the lyrics, and, you know, these things are just so cool. You know, lots of photographs and you know, parts of the score. And what else do we have here? I caught, like, yeah, here's oh, it's in German, so I can't, but it looks like the maybe Bach's manuscript. I don't know. That would be super cool. But, you know, this is just cool stuff, this kind of thing. And of course, you know, they get you here with here are other Bach works on Das Altwerk records that you can get. So, St. John's Passion. Anyway, so that's super cool and fun Passion. It's on the Telefunken label. So very cool. I was excited to get this. This I got at a Half Price Books over in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. My wife and I were over there on a date day, on our day off, exploring the cities and whatnot, and just having fun. And she was kind enough to agree to go and buy Half Price Books while we were there, and I got this. This was in their clearance section for $3. $3, so I was excited to get that. Also at Half Price Books, that same trip, we've got Brahms The Four Symphonies. This is Herbert von Karajan. I'm probably murdering the name, but Herbert von Karajan. This is on the Deutsche Grammophon label. also in the clearance section for $3, so that was exciting. And it is on the, again, thanks to Poetry on Plastic for pointing out what you want to look for with Deutsche Grammophon is this, what they call the tulip label. So the ring of tulips around the outside of the label. So that was super exciting to find. It's what's playing right now. Sounds great. It's in beautiful, fantastic condition. So is the Bach one. Just phenomenal condition for $3. Multi-disc set, all four Brahms symphonies, Herbert von Karajan, and the Berlin Philharmonic on Deutsche Grammophon, the Tulip label. So excited to get that for $3 especially. Then, just recently here, a week, going on 2 weeks ago now, so not quite 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, something like that. No, just over a week. My wife and I were in Wausau. I mentioned that in another Vinyl Finds video. Dropping off a puppy to my mother-in-law. Meeting up in Wausau. That's a whole other story. But anyway, stopped up at a record store, Inner Sleeve. Those discs showed up in my other Vinyl Find video. Also just happened to stumble upon like this big bookstore in downtown Wausau. And we're poking around, my wife and I looking. I'd already been to Inner Sleeve, and so I had my records with me. We're poking around the bookstore. Again, thanks to my wife, she points out, hey, looks like there's a downstairs section. And it was downstairs in this like basement area of this big bookstore was the clearance and used book section. And down there, amongst all these used books, was a music section. There's 3 or 4 crates of records, of vinyl records. So I start digging through. Everything in there was 99 cents. They had some box sets for a little more, but single discs were 99 cents. And there was a lot of classical in there. First up I got a Deutsche Grammophon. This is Rimsky-Korsakov, Scheherazade. The Berlin Philharmonic, Herbert von Karajan. It also is a tulip label. So in great condition. It's got a little writing on the label, or on the cover. 99 cents. So I was excited to find that. I really like the Scheherazade Symphony, would you call that? So that was an exciting find for me. Also, this is where it gets really good. Poetry on Plastic's video was talking a lot about, all the different labels, of course. I kind of knew about RCA Living Stereo Records, although he points out some minute details to look for, things that I wasn't aware of. He also talked about the Mercury Living Presence, which I wasn't really familiar with, didn't know anything about. I knew Mercury, obviously, but the Living Presence stereo records I did not know about, considered to be audiophile quality. And so I've been kind of keeping my eye out for Mercury Living Presence since then, and lo and behold, picked up a bunch of Mercury Living Presence records, all for 99 cents each, and all in really nice condition, like very good plus, strong, very good plus, just phenomenal condition. So we've got, first up, Bartók Violin Concerto, the Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra, and that was really cool for me too, because living, kind of in the Twin Cities area, and with my dad's side of the family from Minneapolis, the Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra is has a special place in my heart. So that was exciting to find those, and they are with the color picture on the back and the dark plum color label. In phenomenal condition. Phenomenal condition. 99 cents. So cool. I did notice, and I'm going to go through because these are pretty early ones. This is label number SR90003. So that's a very early one. I think that's the third record in this classical series from Mercury Living Presence. And the sound on this, it's good, but not fantastic. And it does improve, as Poetry on Plastic was pointing out, as you go along and get further into that classical, living presence series. So up next we've got the continue on with what I found. This is 90008. This is Johann Strauss, Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra. Again, also the color back of the jacket there, and the plum color label. Poetry on Plastic was also pointing out that something to look for with these Mercuries is, he was saying avoid the ones, there's some that will say here on the label Mercury vendor, and apparently those were pressed for other vendors, and sometimes those aren't as good, so kind of watching out for that. Only one of these that I picked up is that vendor, so I was pretty pleased with that. Again, sound not quite as good on there. Here we get into, here's so this would be 90011, Beethoven, Eroica, Minneapolis Symphony. Here's the back cover of that. And again, the plum color label, great condition. This one's sounding noticeably better than the others. As we get into some of these later ones, it starts to get really good. We've got Bouquet Day Parade. So this is Paul Parade, the Detroit Symphony Orchestra with Rossini, Saint-Saëns, Weber, Liszt, and a variety there. Also a color back and a plum label there. Phenomenal condition, sounds great. Next up we've got let's see, Dupre at St. Sulpice playing, so this is organ, Bach on the organ. This sounds really good. If you want like a test of a good and classical record, man, you can't go wrong with an organ. I mean, you got a good sounding organ record, it just really brings out, challenges your system with the bass and the highs. This sounds really good, and this is the only one, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on the, maybe I'll take it out of the sleeve. So here's it's the plum label, and you can see up here right underneath the Mercury it says Vendor Mercury Record Corporation. So my camera's not going to focus in on that, I don't think, so I gotta, anyway. But great condition, phenomenal condition, and it sounds really good. It sounds really good. I was like extremely impressed with that when I put that on the turntable. Up next is, and this is kind of funny because I wasn't sure what to think of this. It's a Mercury Living Presence stereo, and it says an original 35mm magnetic film recording. Okay, so 35mm, Paul Parade, the Detroit Symphony. This is catalog number 90313. And I was kind of like, that sounds like a lot of hype to me, like Dynagroove and all these names that were given to these kind of new ways of recording music. So I was a little skeptical, but man, I'm like, it's a Mercury Living Presence. It does not have a color back, it's black and white, but it is on the plum label. Fantastic condition, 99 cents. Took this home, cleaned it up, put it on the turntable. Holy moly, I am not kidding. This record literally like blew me out of the seat. Oh my gosh, the separation of instrumentation, the living presence of the music, it is there, like it's amazing, and I'm not exaggerating. I remember my daughter plays flute, and trombone. If you remember from an earlier video, her upstairs cleaning her trombone. Anyway, another story. But her main instrument is flute. And so whenever I listen to classical music, I'm immediately drawn to the flutes and whatnot. And I remember, I specifically remember, it was like literally the flutes were gonna like jump out of the speakers into the room. It just amazing sound. Amazing sound. It just phenomenal. So this has quickly become one of the top classical records in my collection. Just amazing. Also, some more of those 35 millimeter. This is 90318 Ballet, highlights from the French opera. Again, Paul Paret, and the Detroit Symphony. It's got a black and white back, and it's it's the Mercury plum color label. Some of these even have the original sleeve, inner sleeves in there, which was really kind of cool. You know, when spin. I just think that's kind of, yeah. Here's one with it's got the original sleeve. Super cool. I mean, that's a really nice bonus. Couple more. We've got another 35 millimeter. This is 90356 Mendelssohn and Schubert, Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra. There we go. Let's see. It's got a black and white back. Oh, take it back. This one is one of those vendors as well. This also says vendor Mercury, but you know, it's the plum label. So I guess I got two of those vendor labels, but I don't know that I've listened to this one yet. So we'll see how that sound compares. But very cool pickup there. 99 cents in fantastic condition. And last but not least, a more recent one. This is 90358 Beethoven Violin Concerto in D, Antal Dorati, Joseph Szigeti. I don't know, probably may have murdered the guy's name, but so this is a later 60s, I think, record. No original sleeve there, and again, it's the, oh, this one also says vendor. Okay, I guess I got three of those. Well, anyway, thought I only had one, now we're up to three, but there's the plum label. So, very cool. I'm super excited. Again, man, my personal favorite out of all these so far is this the Ravel record. Oh my gosh, just amazing sound, just phenomenal. So really fun. I'm totally enjoying these, and just so much fun to, you know, pick up some of these, you know, audiophile classical records, super cheap, in great condition. And thank you so much, Poetry on Plastic, for your video on classical music and classical records. That was so helpful for me in giving some guidance on picking these out and, you know, finding some great treasures there. So very appreciative of that. Thank you so much for watching. Make some comments. Love the interaction in the VC with the comments and the responding and the back and forth. That's really a lot of what makes this so worthwhile. I mean, it's fun making the videos, but I love the interaction with you guys and the comments and the responding. So please drop some comments, share some of your favorite classical records. I don't know, give me some direction, what to look for next. Love that kind of input. In the meantime, until next time, stay in the groove.